Hey, what is going on, you giggling Gible? Coming at y'all with some Cynthia's Garchomp action, a deck that has been pretty highly requested from y'all for me to try out. And when I first started with the deck, it was pretty frustrating. I couldn't get it to flow or feel very good. But after trying out a couple different builds, I've landed on kind of somewhat disappointingly a double Budew build. Like just putting two Budew in anything and being like, well, this solves all my issues because I just choose second and itchy paw on my opponent. Doesn't feel like a great solution, even if it does feel like it's the best way to play the deck that I've at least tried so far. So we got the 4-4-3 Cynthia's Garchomp in here, of course. 3-3 Cynthia's Roserade, and then I have the two Budew alongside one of Cynthia's Spiritomb and a currently experimental inclusion of a Meowth EX. I'll talk about that more in a little bit. So the Cynthia's Pokemon are all pretty standard. I could even see going up to like a 4-4 Cynthia's Roserade with some future testing. It's nice to have the Spiritomb to kind of back up your board when your opponent starts to get aggressive, take knockouts, or put damage in play, I should say. Not take knockouts, put damage in play, and then you can utilize that against them. And yeah, the two Budew. So I was playing with the deck. I was playing it with more item cards, Buddy Poffins, Poké Pads, Fighting Gongs, choosing first, and it just felt like the deck wasn't doing enough to actually win games. I always felt kind of behind on the board state, and if you go up against any kind of like Soul Rock deck and they attack like turn one with Soul Rock going second, you're just kind of in trouble. And going first in general in this format doesn't feel great to me. It's like with some decks it's fine, like playing like Soul Rock Lunatone decks, it feels pretty good to go first. Or what did I just say? Yeah, going first with this deck didn't feel great. Going second has felt great. Yeah, going first didn't feel great. Going second has felt pretty good. And I was initially trying to build with like one Budew, and I would like choose second and itchy paw, and I was like, this is actually feeling pretty good. And then I was like, well, what if we just like kind of committed the build to being a go second, turn one itchy paw style deck? So I went with that, and so far it's felt pretty solid, to be honest. So we got two Budew in here because we are choosing second. We're looking for that Budew on the first turn of the game, and that's going to be like our initial setup for the supporter lineup. I mean, it's nothing too crazy. I got 4 Boss's Orders, 4 Lillie's Determination, 3 Judge. Pretty heavy on the Judge, but Judge is pretty good in here once we set up to get going and playing the game. Judge, of course, is not great. Shuffle your hand into deck and draw 4 is like a pretty low value when you compare it to something like Lillie's Determination that draws literally twice as many cards. But once we do get going, Corkscrew Dive is going to be like our go-to main attack for the first couple turns. So using something like Judge kind of just helps us reset our hand a little bit lower, see some fresh cards, be disruptive to our opponent, the most important part, and then we can kind of redraw up and have plenty of options going to our next turn off of the Corkscrew Dive. So it's worked out pretty well. I do have four boss in here, and that's because punching your opponent's active Pokemon with the Corkscrew Dive, if we're not getting a KO, feels really bad. Like if your opponent has a Dragapult in the active, let's say, using Corkscrew Dive into the Dragapult when we can Draconic Buster 1-hit KO at next turn feels kind of bad. I'd much rather boss their Meowth or a Dracloak off the bench, KO that this turn, and then 1-hit KO them with the Buster on the next turn. So yeah, I really like the 4 boss. It's felt really, really good to give me control of the more aggressive prize trade and stuff like that. I do have the Surfers in here, 2 Surfers. And I didn't know, I had like some space at the end of the deck when I was kind of putting it together, and I was like, all right, let's just try the Surfers. It'd be nice to have some potential mobility to get into Budew on the first turn of the game, or to move a Roserade out of the active if our opponent got set up. And honestly, I've used the Surfers a lot, way more than I thought I would. So far, very impressed by the Surfers. Gonna probably keep those around for now. For the Pokemon search count, like I said, I do have the Meowth in here, which is like pretty experimental. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this in here or not. But for Buddy Poffin, of course, we do need to find that Budew on the first turn of the game and also set up our Roselias and the Gibles. Just 2 Fighting Gong to go alongside those. A little bit more basic Pokemon search, and then help to find our basic energy. 1 Poké Pad and 2 Ultra Ball. I did have 3 Poké Pad in here previously, but if I'm going to play the Meowth, we got to play some count of Ultra Ball, so 2 Ultra Balls. Once again, not convinced on the Meowth. He's just kind of here for now. Might cut him later, though. Another thing with the Budew that I found was that we definitely have like plenty of bench space to get Budew involved and still feel very comfortable and confident with our board composition as the game progresses, even if the Budew gets stuck in play. Also, like mid-game, late-game Budews I found to be really, really good as well to kind of slow the game down, leave a 1-prize Pokemon in the active, and then allow us to build up for usually a Draconic Buster on a following turn. So that's like another big value I found from the Budew. It's just like, all right, we're in the mid game. I don't want to leave a Garchomp in my active, but I can just attack with Budew for the turn, slow the game down, and then retake control of the prize trade on that following turn. Just 2 Night Stretchers in here for the recovery. This has felt like more than enough recovery, to be honest. 2 Premium Power Pros. Want to be able to hit a little bit harder. Sometimes our opponent can have decent control over how many Roserade are in play based on what they're able to KO, whether that be the Roselias or the Roses themselves. So having a little bit more reach through the item card of Premium Power Pro, of course, is super nice. So a mix of both is definitely something that we want, but I could see going up more Premium Power Pros or more Roserades, just a mix of both for sure. Only 3 Cynthia's power weights. Still feels like a very powerful card overall. I honestly find myself more impactfully attaching them to Roserades than Garchomps, but it is pretty nice to have a 400 HP Garchomp in the active at points. And for the energy split, 4 basic energy, 3 Rocky Fighting Energy, and then the 1 Neo Upper. And honestly, I'm not even really that convinced on Neo Upper. I did try a build with Petrol at one point, and I had Unfair Stamp in there, so that was kind of cool. You could aggressively Petrol for the Unfair Stamp, but overall, I found the Petrol build to be a little bit too slow, and we just kind of needed to see more cards more aggressively. So now I've opted for the Lilies and the Judges. And then with that, I've switched over to the Neo Upper Energy, but I'm definitely not convinced I need Neo Upper Energy. I'm pretty sure I used Neo Upper Energy once, and it didn't even matter in the game that I used it, because finding it is a little bit awkward. I know a lot of people play Hilda's. Hilda seems fine overall. It's a little bit slow. Once again, kind of like the Petrol. Not terrible, but not something I've really tested too much with. So if you have Hilda's in the deck, the Neo Upper Energy obviously becomes more impactful. But without having Hilda's in here, I could see going back to the Unfair Stamp, and just when we draw it. Or maybe something like a Secret Box could also be pretty powerful as well. We got Stadiums, we got Tool Cards. And the Stadium I am playing is the Team Rocket's Watchtower right now, because we don't have any colorless Pokemon in here. We do have the 1 Meowth besides the 1 Meowth, but we're not super reliant on the Meowth or anything like that. And there's only 2 Team Rocket's Watchtower in here. It's not like it's always going to be in play. We can still get value out of Meowth, even though we play Team Rocket's Watchtower. And it seems like the best neutral stadium to play if you're not super reliant on a colorless Pokemon draw engine. You know, Dragapult decks are like playing double Meowth. They're not super reliant on it either, but you have like the Dunsparce decks with Noctowl. It feels like the best neutral stadium you can play if you're not super reliant on the colorless Pokemon abilities. Like with further testing up against Dragapult, I could see Battle Cage being the way to go instead, and maybe even a count of 3 or 4 Battle Cage. But besides those 2 stadiums, the stadium options for Garchomp are pretty weak. You could go with Force to Vitality because it would allow you to get Roserade into play in a single turn. That doesn't seem terrible, so I could see that being the route to go instead. But so far, only really tested around with the Team Rocket's Watchtower, and they felt solid as the stadium inclusion. And we definitely want, we don't really even need a stadium in the deck, I guess. Like Jamming Tower theoretically would be something we don't want in play up against Dragapult, but a lot of Dragapults aren't even playing Jamming Tower right now. They're playing the Risky Ruins and the Watchtowers themselves. So not playing a stadium could also be the way to go. But with that said, let's jump into some action. I'll show you all how the deck runs, and if you want to see some more games from me with the deck, check out the secondary YouTube channel, AzulGG2. Link will be in the description. Let's get into it. I went first. I cannot get Budew in the active with this hand. Unlucky. Is it just infinite grass decks today, man? Like, what are we doing? Oh my gosh. Literally infinite grass decks? It's the same guy? No clue. It may be a good time to play Ceruledge. True. The time is now. No, I've already done enough Ceruledging for a little while. Save that for later. I stopped playing today. Been testing Zoro and hit 9 out of 10 grass decks. Well, it's a little bit better for Zoro. Like, it's not terrible for Zoroark, right? Well, there's no turn 1 Yanma yet. All right. They often play Budew, so I feel like I have to grab Gabite with this one. And then this one, I kind of want to get a Roselia. Something like that. I don't know. Seems like a decent lineup. Obviously not a great situation. It's a tough matchup, but we'll see what we can do. Like Like, Budew here would have been really, really nice, but we don't have the energy in hand, so can't do that. Grass-infested ladder. It's everywhere. The infestation. Oh, is that Bailey stuck now? Because they could have retreated. But I don't know. Okay, sure. Infinite grass decks. Okay. I mean, I got the unfair stamp on this following turn. Isn't it better to grab third Gible since Force allows you to evolve to Roselia right now? No, because then I have to find the Roselia. I don't know how I'd find the... I guess I could have, like, Gabite changed it, actually. Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe it was better to get the third Gible. You might be right. I could have Gabite changed it out. Okay. I just want to punch this with Dragon Slice, right? Or I feel like I do. Dragon Slice him? Is Roselia and a Gible? No, Roselia died early. Okay. I could actually back-to-back Dragon Slices to put them back on even prize or odd prize cards. But it kind of comes down to... I would need to find a Premium Power Pro and then feel comfortable enough to do that for the situation, I guess. We'll see. First, we need the stamp to stick. And then from there, we need to stick for like a turn. We don't need to like win the game through it, but we need like a turn off of it. I mean, that's not too aggressive. Not too scary. Or believe it. I mean, that's kind of scary. I don't know. That's pretty terrifying if you ask me. I'm pretty scared. I'm pretty frightful of that one. Are they gonna run to the Arbor Lever here? I was gonna KO my active, right? KO my active is pretty obnoxious. But then I can go Garchomp boss KO Meganium, right? Okay. And then from there, I don't actually know. Yeah, we definitely go boss KO though, for sure. Right? Yeah. Is there nothing left? Oh. Basically nothing. Fail. You can find like the Sacred Ash, I feel like. Petrol for Sacred Ash. A little slow, so it depends. Well, see what the prize cards give us as well. It's fine. I do like the Petrels though, because it feels like if we're not playing boss for turn or judge, then Petrol like would probably get us whatever we need for the turn, right? Which is like all we need for that turn, I guess. Is it not better on Ogerpon? He lost the energies, took 2 prizes, and Arbor Lever can't kill you with second attack if you have Cynthia's power weight. I guess maybe, to be honest. They would just be able to kill the Spiritomb on that turn. Like maybe, yeah. It's working out though. The unfair stamp's doing its job. Yeah, it is surf time. I could bench Budew so I can draw a card with Surfer. Probably fine. Yeah, I guess I could have KO'd the Ogerpon instead. Yeah, I guess I could have KO'd the Ogerpon instead, right? KO the Ogerpon, put the weight on the active, then we would have been fine. Yeah, like, Petrol just gets us everything, which is kind of cool. Like, we have Fighting Gong that gets us Fighting Energy. Well, in this situation, I don't know if Fighting Gong gets me Fighting Energy, but in other situations, it would. Well, I have Night Stretcher. I could Night Stretcher for an energy, I guess, here. I have one basic fighting left, one Gong left, one Night Stretcher left. What do you think of Feraligatr in the current meta? No thoughts. Haven't played with the deck yet. You think double sleeving is worth it? No. Double sleeving is cringe. Your box is pretty good there. What are they debating so hard here? Okay. Oh, maybe they... Oh, can they KO me or something? Guess they were checking what was prized. Hmm. This is pretty bad. Oof. And the Fed... Wait, are they just cooking here? Does Rock Energy stop Arboliva? No. There's no Rose's Encouragement in this build, no. Honestly, not sure how good the Power Bites actually are. I feel like they're pretty important to like protect our bench. On the Garchomp, it feels like it matters less most of the time, but protecting like giving our Roserades or like Gabites, if we want to keep a Gabite around, plus 100 or plus it's 70 HP, right? Is like a pretty big deal. Am I actually getting Budew this turn? That's so good. What the heck? I feel like I almost have to like Lilies here though. Oh, I definitely Lilies here. What am I thinking? Yeah, we always Lilies here. I mean, I don't need access to Champion's Call anymore, right? Well, unless I want to get like Spiritomb, but that'd mean they wouldn't take a knockout next turn. I kind of am assuming they're taking a knockout next turn, so I may as well thin out the deck here. Why wouldn't they set up Meganium to KO? They must have like a piece prize. They must not have all the pieces available in the deck. I could whiff energy here, I guess. If I whiff energy here, we're in trouble, but that's never gonna happen. Now I need to draw into boss. I can boss KO Fez to win. Ooh, top deck? Top deck boss? Oh, wait, no, but if their only attacker is... Oh, no, because they can Arboliva KO this turn. Oh, no, but they can't do that. Then I could win. Oh, do I just have... They actually just don't have a great line here. Oh, Briar? Oh, no. Not the Briar. It's just they got it, though. Don't Briar me one time. Don't Briar me. Not the Briar. We need Briar plus energy. Oh, true. They don't have the Meganium. Yeah. See, we even beat the grass decks with this deck. This deck is broken. I really like the Petrels, actually. It just like ties the whole turn together so cleanly every time. Or so far. Okay, I guess they're hoping we don't have energy. You fool. Of course I have energy. Yeah, I really like the Petrels. I really like the Petrels. Because Garchomp is like a pretty self-sufficient deck once it gets online. Like, you don't need a Lillie every turn. I think the big question for Petrol is like, how can we actually get online often enough to validate Petrol as the main supporter? That'll be the big question. But so far, I like the idea. I like them so far, and I like the idea. Technically, our hand is dead, but we have 2 turns to draw a top deck. Don't even know what the card does. That's perfect. I'm gonna get Budewed here. But I want to Budew them. The Surfer's got to go crazy on this next turn. What would you consider the 3 best? No clue. Haven't thought about it. Yeah, we got to get a... Well, man, maybe they don't have a Budew here. I'm just kind of assuming they do, but... We kind of still need a Gabite off that Surfer, though. In this situation, we still need a Gabite off the Surfer. Oh. All right, Surfer, don't let me down. Gabite next turn. Okay. It's not terrible. Why do a Cornerstone Area 0 build? This doesn't sound very good. Doesn't intrigue me. Not interested in it. If they itchy palm me this turn, I can't even petrol for the Poké Pad now. Oh my gosh. Not good. It's not good. So I know you don't do future format questions, but what do you think about 2029's Shock Lock coming back? I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll definitely shake things up. People have to respect the paralysis special condition in a way that we haven't had to respect it in quite a while. So that'll make Decklist, you know, more switches, things like that. Surfers, possibly. Surfer reprint, 2029. Okay, wait, am I trolling? Did they not play Dawn already? Just playing around Watchtower, I guess. They have 2. What are they? I mean, that seems weird. I don't know about that. That seems weird. Yep, not sure. Here we go. Little Champions Call action. Why did Surfers usage all of a sudden skyrocket? Because we don't have Turo or Penny anymore. So if you're going to play a mobility card, usually playing like multi-use mobility cards is best. Which is what something like Surfer is, because it draws cards and it switches the Pokemon, as opposed to playing like a switch. Because usually you don't need the mobility cards like super aggressively. With something like a switch or an air balloon, you usually don't need to be that aggressive. Dude, why did they put that Meowth in play? That just like still boggles my mind. I don't know why that Meowth's in play there. I just have no clue. Kieran, yeah, so stuff like Kieran, Surfer become better. Because playing something like a switch is just kind of it's not like you don't need the aggressive mobility. You're just trying to like avoid the inevitability of something like a retreat lock deck. So it takes retreat lock a long time to beat you, usually. So you have time to find your Surfer. But then Surfer in the mid early game is better than a switch, usually. Did you ever figure out what the Papaya Berry tech was for? Oh yeah, I saw someone comment on the podcast for Enamorous. Yeah, Enamorous and Dusknoir. Well, Dusknoir's a use case, but also Enamorous, yeah. Which is kind of cute tech. I like Kieran then, because I like drawing cards. Isn't the damage mod beneficial? Yeah, but so is drawing cards. I think I just boss clear the track look, right? Like I just ignore this thing. I don't know why they put the damage on this one. I feel like that makes no sense, right? I do want an energy attachment for a turn, I guess. Oh, I actually KO their active with... I actually should evolve the one on the bench that has the energy as well, right? I would Lillie into energy PP up, but that's like, I think, pretty low odds, actually. Yeah, it's not high odds. I'm just gonna go for the boss on the Dracloak here. Flood. Did I bench another Roselia here? I think I do, right? Because if they boss KO this Roserade, they could even go boss KO Roserade plus Monkey Dory KO Roselia. So I think I have to bench this Roselia here. And then boss. Yeah, because I have to evolve this as well because I don't want them to go boss KO Gabite here. This puts us in a pretty good spot, though, I feel like. I feel like we're set up pretty well here. What is old Meowth is worth 2 prize cards in case you forgot? Oh, yeah, shoot. Yeah, shoot. Oh, shoot. Yeah, shoot. Oh, my gosh. It's an EX. What? Oh, dude, everyone's on that pult chicken. What the heck? It's all chickens all the way down. This guy got fighting resistance? No. Okay, cool. I don't think the big one does either. They could go like candy chicken next turn though, I guess, to like, oh my gosh. Of course they have the unfair stamp immediately, man. Fuck me, I guess. They didn't have the petrol for it. They just have it. Jeez, man. Are you kidding me? I do have KO in my hand, which is nice, but we're not there yet fully. No. Oh my gosh. That's so obnoxious, man. Well, now I can petrol for unfair stamp, I guess. Like, I guess that's like, that has to be my play, right? Oh my gosh. Can you please try James V's Chomp List? No. Gotta be the petrol for the unfair. Yeah, just unfair them back, right? It's not that big of a deal. Or could I have done something else and then just like corkscrew punch there? Maybe there was like a better play actually. Like I feel like I'm gonna have to like I'm not gonna get the knockout here anyways. I didn't need to like play for the KO. For 130. Raw energy. I do want to try and set up like another Garchomp, I guess, at some point. So mentioning the Gible here makes sense because I can like retreat this one and like hide it on the bench, make them work for it. Broken. Any observation on Garchomp's how Garchomp fares into the grass box matchup? I mean, it feels like it should be unfavorable for sure. I think a 1/1 Barbaracle line in this deck. I don't think it's worth it. I don't know, maybe. You would definitely need to play like a heavier draw support build with like Lilies, which wouldn't be bad, obviously. You definitely have bench space for it as well. You also have to play air balloons then, I think. Because I think having 2 retreat costs is... Well, no, I guess you could just like accelerate energy with it to retreat it. I mean, I guess I could see it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I could see it. So 1/1 Barbaracle, or are we going 2/2? I don't know. We'd only ever set up one of it, but like how thick of a line would we go? But then we have to play like less rocky energy, which is our win condition against Alakazam. I don't know. I feel like we don't need that much energy for this deck to function. I don't hate it though. I don't hate the idea. We're a little bit behind at this point. A little bit behind. My opponent recovered really well there. We haven't lost though. Oh, I can prevent the effects of the spread attack, so I can put this here. Stop them from spreading there. I didn't even think about that initially. Oh, it's 10. Oh, wait, I could have played the Premium Power Pro and KO'd them with the first attack. Dude, I didn't even think. I didn't even think about that. Fudge, that was so much better. I mean, I have to go for the. I have to go for that. I didn't even like think it was possible. I didn't even like do the math. I was like, well, we have to use the big attack here. Okay, we didn't though. We could have used a small attack and been fine. Alrighty, the more you know. Future 22 months there, Geronimo. I also whiffed the Gabite this turn, unfortunately. Would have been nice. Is Scuba Cyclone viable in Garchomp? Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, if we went with a Barbaracle build of the deck, we'd probably have to like give up almost fully on the Alakazam matchup, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I kind of like the idea of beating Alakazam, to be honest. So, think about playing Lucario with Bolt and Carbink. Does not seem very good. Okay, we'll see how good of a turn they have, though. Hold on. Would you want the damage on board for Spiritomb, though? I mean, situationally, yeah, sure. But it's not always going to be good. Sometimes it's too much damage. Oh, they had another jamming. They played 2 jamming? I thought I was just, like, done with the jammings. After I bumped that jamming, I thought we were just safe from jamming tower. All right, sure, I guess. I don't know how we won, but we did it. Let's go. Let's get it.